Hey guys, welcome back. So I want to talk about how poor I was because I say it a lot. I was poor. I wasn't as poor as you may think. It was kind of intervals or intermissions of poorness with middle classness. Never rich. Finish such a word. Um, but I remember being poor. That dad was on strike and I wanted something to eat, and it was the first time I remember going to the house and there not being something to eat. So it was there was food. I shouldn't say that. There was stuff to eat, but it was stuff mom would have to make. You know what I mean? Like she had breakfast stuff, and lunch stuff, and supper stuff. But there really was no snacks. And it's the first time I remember going to the house and not having chips or stuff for a sandwich is what I wanted. I was out playing all day and I wanted a sandwich. And the only thing we had was one crusty end loaf of bread and some mustard. So I had a mustard sandwich. To this day is the reason I love mustard on bread. I'll eat a slice of bread with mustard on it. I love it. I love mustard in general. It was a good day, despite that. Playing, having a good time, so it brings back good memories. Um, I remember being poor that Christmas. No, the strike went for a couple of years, so I was a couple of years older at that point. It was coming to an end, but I was 12 going on 13. And when I started developing my personal style, and it was just jeans and t-shirt. So, I mean, that didn't affect my personal style a lot because they were relatively cheap, but I did want this expensive pair of jeans for Christmas. And if you guys remember the early 90s, Levi's red tab button fly. They were the shit. And I wanted a pair so bad, and I got a pair with some t-shirts. And my t-shirts were plain white, plain black, plain gray, plain blue. And I was never a logo guy. Although I did want them red tab jeans just because they looked good and they were cool. And I got a pair of them. I actually got two pairs of them. One was a button fly though, but it was still Levi's red tab. And so yeah, it was great. And then I remember in high school we were still recovering from the strike. Dad had to go into debt and stuff. And high school would have been rougher if I gave a shit about name brands, but I didn't. I wore literally, say I didn't give a shit. Like I said, I wanted Levi's, but I wore Lee jeans, Levi's jeans, stuff like that. Wranglers. I mean, good jeans. But I got a lot of them at secondhand stores, right? So it was cool. And my t-shirts were literally the 3-4 packs of Hanes or Fruit of Looms t-shirts. That's what I wore. So it didn't affect my personal style any. And I always had a cologne. Like I said, nothing major until later in life. But yeah, so I was fine. I couldn't go out and do a lot of. It was weird because a lot of people would go out to, like, friends would go out to restaurants and stuff, and I'd have to come up with excuses why I couldn't go. But I mean, whatever. I didn't do bad in high school. I was junior high and high school. I was pretty popular. Like I said, captain of the football team, the rugby team, wrestling captain, did boxing in my spare time. So I was okay. If I could have skated better, I would have done hockey. Well, I did do a little hockey, just in high school. I was the guy that they'd send out to fight. 55, number 22. That was my thing. I'll get number 22. So I'd line up from him shoulder to shoulder and on the face-off. And as soon as the puck was dropped, down come the gloves. I still think I hold the record for most time in the penalty box to time spent on ice. I wasn't a good hockey player. Not even I could barely skate. It was literally go fight. So that's what I did. So yeah, I mean that was. So this is what I'm getting at is this is why I know a lot of people, few people even worried about my finances. Don't worry about my finances, guys. I have a good job. When you're in management and you've been with a company as long as I have, despite the company, unless it may be like Walmart or something, I don't know. But despite the company, you start making good money years into your career when you become management. So I do okay, very okay. But I'm not doing okay enough that if I just willy-nilly spent my money, that I wouldn't be broken in trouble. See, going through them episodes of being broke really taught me how to stretch a dollar. I didn't even tell you what the worst being broke ever was. I would have been in my late 20s, early 30s, and I bought a house and a car, went into debt because the girl I was with wanted all that stuff. And then I decided, well, instead of working, I'm going to go back to school and become a carpenter. And I hated that. Not carpentry itself. I hated building. I like building stuff for myself and helping friends and family out, but I hate building stuff for other people. That's pretty much where my disgust for people started. But anyway, so that was a bad time in my life. That was the worst. I think. I mean, hungry. When I say $20 meant the difference between eating and not eating, I'm not lying. My parents would come and give me a $20 bill or a $40 bill, and it was enough to get some bread and peanut butter, or maybe some bologna if it was on sale, and some milk, and some coffee, and yeah, that's. And I talked about it in one of my videos. I don't blame her for leaving me. I was depressed, and I just ate and got fatter and played video games. And I was depressed because I was fat and unemployed, and I was unemployed because I was depressed. That's a vicious circle. That's why I never judge anybody on mental health. I've been there. It's brutal. It can knock you over, guys. Ooh, brutal. But that's part of the reason, though, like I'm saying, they made me who I am today. And part of the reason why and I know it looks like I buy a lot of stuff, and I do. But if you look at it, a lot of the stuff's $30, $40 at the most. Yes, I've gone through spurts where I spent $1,000 on something. But I haven't bought anything before that for months. Any major stuff. So don't worry about my finances, guys. I make good money. I stretch my money out. I'm really good at, you guys would be surprised, honestly. You think, oh, you buy a lot. You'd be surprised at the stuff I say no to. I say no to 10 times the amount of stuff that I buy. Because in my mind, I don't need it. I want it, I don't need it. And there's a lot of stuff. Colognes, clothes, car. I was looking at cars the other day, and I'm thinking, I just bought a car like not even 3 years ago. Brand new, 2020. I don't need another car. So, yeah, don't worry about my finances. Don't worry. I that's what I'm getting at. I could live still comfortably off of half the money I'm making now, because I know how to make $1. I don't have to, so I don't. But I've still got a decent savings. I make a decent wage. And, yeah, I pay my bills on time, which keeps my credit way up there if I ever do need to borrow money. And I learned from my parents, what to do and what not to do. Dad did what he had to do, so can't blame him for that one. But yeah, it's not a down video. I just wanted to let you know that's me. How poor was I? I'd say it all the time. We were poor. We were never. But I don't want to give the visual that we were. I don't know how to say hillbilly poor. I guess I don't know. Because there was just as many times that we were perfectly fine. Actually, more time, tell you the truth, we were perfectly fine. It was just some intervals of being poor that were really intense. Yeah, so that's it, really. I just wanted to see, just to let you know, it's part of the reason I do what I do with the cheap stuff, especially the really cheap dupes. I honestly hardly ever wear them other than reviews. And not because, some of them I like, a lot of them I don't. You pretty much just get the ones I like. There's, again, twice the amount. You've seen the stuff out there when I did the in-tour video of the stuff I didn't like that I ain't even going to review most of it. It's just there to put in my room, my diffuser now. So there's a lot I like, so, and remember when I do a review of these cheap dupes, guys, these $5, $10 dupes, or even just colognes themselves, remember, they're $5 or $10 dupes. You're not going to get I'm grading on a curve here, a pretty steep curve, like a big bell curve, man. Like I'm grading on that curve when something's $5. I'm not expecting it to smell like a Dior quality wise, or YSL quality wise, or even an Armoff, or definitely not Lisa Toffas. They're great, um, or even Adidas quality. It's going to be barely passable quality wise, but it's got to be at least there before I review it for the most part, um, or even talk about it. So yeah, because I've had a lot of people, oh, they're garbage. Why do you recommend them? Well, if I wasn't recommending it to you, then if you're upset that a $4, $5 fragrance you bought is not anything near as good as the $150, $200 fragrance that it's duping, that's your problem. I thought I've been obvious in this a few times now. I've mentioned it a few times. I'll mention it here again. I'm grading on a curve. Remember that next time you see a cheap dupe. And there will be more cheap dupes because I haven't forgotten about people who either really like cheap dupes or need them. I haven't forgot about you. It's just I've got so much stuff in and I'm having so much fun with these Middle Eastern scents and this and that. And they're relatively cheap too if you've got the money. You know, $30 for most of them. That's not bad. But I will do some cheap dupes. Don't worry, guys. I've got a few in mind here. A couple good ones and a couple, and one really bad one. But we'll get into it. So yeah, remember that when I do these cheap dupes, especially the $5, $10 ones, they're being judged on a curve, graded on a curve. When I say do they smell like them, they do, but you've also got to remember they also smell of quite a bit less quality, shall we say. And if they don't, I'll tell you if I think they smell better than the $5. I've said it before and I'll do it. I'll let you know. But for the most part, remember that when you see a cheap dupe, when I'm reviewing it or talking about it, that it's being graded on the curve. Yeah, I mean, it was just a quick talk about, you know, what I mean when I say I was poor and why I do what I do again. I kind of have to do this every few weeks now because people keep asking. Although I haven't had really asked about the cheap dupes because I haven't done any in, really 2 months. I got to do one. Maybe I'll do one this week. Next week, maybe. We'll see. Yeah, I'm going to do a cheap dupe. I haven't done a $5, $10 dupe in a while. We're going to do one. I'll find what I want to do. I'll do it. So be ready for that. I'm not going to wear it all week like I did before, though. I'm going to wear it a couple of days, and that's it. That's good enough for most of them. So yeah, be ready for that one. I know some of you are excited, and some of you are like, no. Big thing with them cheap dupes is a lot of it is that you don't even know if you like them, but you can't find them. And I apologize for that. I figured they were all over the place, but I guess I'm wrong. But that doesn't mean I'm going to stop doing them. Because in Canada, Dollar Store, Giant Tiger, and Urban Planet are like the 3 big places you can get them. So if you got one of them in any of your city, and I don't think there's even a small town in Canada that doesn't have at least a dollar store. So, or close to one anyway. So you'll be able to get them. For those who are not in Canada, I don't know where to get them. I don't. I know you can get them online, but they're not really all that cheap when you include shipping and stuff, and you usually got to buy in bulk. So, sorry. But for my Canadians, my fellow Canucks, I'll still do them cheap dupes. And tell me if you guys want them cheap dupes too, even if you don't know. Like I said, I know you can't find them. At least not. I don't know where to find them in other countries, but in Canada it is, you can. So I'm going to do it for my Canucks. So yeah, I don't know what else to say tonight, guys. I just wanted to come off and give you a little bit more of a personal, between you and me, a talk. And I appreciate any of your feedback. Like I said, just don't be a dick. Tell me if you grew up poor, if you had like poor parts of your life like I did. Tell me if you like me doing the cheap $5, $10 dupes, or you hate me doing the cheap $5, $10 dupes. Because I'm still going to do them. Because it's like I said, it's the girl I brought to the dance, and I'm gonna go home with her. But I'm doing a lot less of them, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna do a lot less of them. It's gonna be a lot more colognes and more expensive, dupes. Like I said, Lattafas, Armoffs, um, the Afnons. I'm not gonna do anything like perfumes, vintage, or Dua fragrances and stuff. Most of that stuff is, by the time you pay for them, you might as well just get the real thing. Do you know what I mean? And the fact that most of them are just Aventus twist. Um, I'm getting real. I love the Aventus DNA. I said in my little talk about Club de Nuit, but I am getting tired of getting something in and it smells like Aventus. It smells like Aventus. It's the same as with designers mostly smelling like some form of Invictus. I'm done with it. I think I got one Aventus. Some people say it's an Aventus clone. Some people say it's not. Coming in probably tomorrow, the next day from Lattafa. I just wanted to try it because I heard it was just basically like a sweet, sweet canned pineapple syrup. And that, for whatever reason, interested me. So I said, hey, I'm going to give it a try. There's also another one from Lattafa that's supposed to be a smoky Aventus, but a lot of people say it's not. So next order I do, maybe I'll get it, maybe I won't. And we'll see. But that'll probably be it for any more Aventus style stuff. So don't ask me, oh, I should do this because it smells like Aventus, because I'm probably not. I've got Aventus, or I got decant of Aventus. And if you haven't tried Aventus, guys, try Aventus. Seriously, try Aventus. You're doing yourself a disservice not trying Aventus and just trying the clones, because while the clones are really good, especially pardon me. Something setting off my allergies. I don't know what it is. I got the window open. Maybe it's a tree blowing. My eyes are starting now. But I love Club de Nuit, and it's pretty damn close to Aventus. Mont Blanc Explorer is another one that's in the Aventus style, but doing its own thing. Same as English Laundry London. I've got 2 or 3 other. I've got a Preferred Fragrance clone. So I'm done with them, though. So don't even bother. You should try this. It smells like Aventus. No, I'm done. Unless it does something really weird, like I said with that pineapple, it's supposed to be like almost like literally a canned syrupy pineapple. I'm not trying it. I'm done with Aventus. Also, I wanted to say, guys, is wear your good shit. If you have something, life is short. Life is really short. And this is just a PSA. Wear your good shit. Don't, if you have a nice cologne, maybe you only have one and you spent a small, it took you 6 months to save up to buy that Aventus or that Green Irish. Maybe not even that much. Maybe just that Sauvage or that Acqua di Gio or Gucci this or Ralph Lauren that or Azzaro Wit, whatever. If you saved up money to get it, and I understand the mentality, I really do, of not wanting to use it, because like I said, I've had expensive stuff when I was relatively expensive, mostly just designers, when I had no money and I didn't want to use it. So I'd use stuff like the Bob Mackie or, Preferred Stock. Not that any of them are bad. Gravity, they're really good. It's just I wouldn't use my good stuff because I was afraid to run out. And I never enjoyed it. I never got to enjoy it till later in life when I got a little more money, and I'd be like, because now it's out. If I feel like wearing Green Irish Tweed, I'll grab my decant, spray it on and go. I don't care. Same as Aventus, same as Silver Mountain Water, or Pegasus, whatever the decant. I don't have any full bottles because even I'm not that crazy. With all the colognes I have, a 20, 30 ml decant will last me a long time. But I wear them now. I haven't in a long time, really, because of the channel. I've been doing But you'd be surprised how many days I just take a break. I don't want to wear this. I want to wear, you know, I don't know, something designer expensive, Savage or YSL something, or Dior something, I guess, or you know, Jean Paul something, you know, or an Aventus or a Korean Irish tweed or something. I do that usually now 2 or 3 times a month at least, where I don't even talk about it on here. It's for me because I've got to do that. I've got to step away from this every once in a while and do that for me, or I'll lose the passion. And I was starting to lose it. I think you guys realize it because now you're getting more videos. I'm more upbeat. The last year or so, I was just it was like, it was almost a job, like a horrible job. Oh, I gotta wear this week. I don't want to wear this. And so the last 4 or 5 months, I've been just taking a break. Not one, I don't come on here and tell you about it. I want to wear this because I like it. I want to wear it for me, and I'll take a day, sometimes two, and wear a couple things I like. Just because, and it's really helped me with appreciating them more, and also appreciating finding you guys better deals and things that are good, bang for your dollar, wares for your dollar. So, and I'm coming off more, like I said, just more lively. And a lot of that has to do with going from working nights, managing nights to managing days. I've got more time now. Life's better. Winter's coming. I love fall and winter. I've said it before, but I do. And just see, I was, because when I first started the channel, even for a couple of years, I had no idea what I was doing. I was trying to review as much crap as I could, and I wasn't taking that time to enjoy myself with it. Now I do. Anyway, guys, this video's gone on too long. I'm sorry. I got to get to bed too. I got to work tomorrow, of course. But I don't mind work though. I mean, I don't like it like anybody else. I'd rather not work, but I like money. So, yeah. All right, guys. Peace, love, be good to each other. And wear your good shit. Seriously, guys, enjoy it. If you can't afford to wear it all the time, that's fine. At least once a month. For no reason other than for you. Put on your good shit. However expensive. It doesn't even have to be expensive. If it's just something you like. Put on your good shit. Your good shit. All right, guys. Peace, love, be good to each other.